Hey guys, and welcome to the video. So today I would like to talk about one of the weight loss industry's biggest failures to people trying to lose weight. And that is weight loss before and after photos and the expectations it gives you. How real are they? And what can you actually expect when you go into a program to lose weight in terms of the results that you see on the before and after, and what's realistic for you. And it's an undeniable fact that most people are driven by visual results. So when they see a before and after photo and they are deciding whether they want to go with this program to lose weight, it's a big driver in their decision. So I'm not saying all photos out there are fake, but how realistic are they in terms of what you can get in results and how you can actually feel? Because it's not just how you look, right? It's how you feel when you've lost the weight. So that's what I want to talk about today in my 9 reasons why you should be skeptical about before and after photos. They might not be fake, but they might not be 100% realistic and true to what you can achieve either. So first off, expectations. So with before and after photos, you'll often see an overweight person and they've gone to their perfect athletic body. So is this actually realistic? Most weight loss programs you see are either like 8 or 12 weeks. And most people in that time, if they've got more than sort of 1 stone, sort of 7, 8 kilograms to lose, then going from where they are now to a lean, toned, athletic body is not realistic. So in 8 to 12 weeks, if we're thinking about 1 to 2 pounds weight loss per week, which is like the average of what you should be losing, then if you have more than 1 to 2 stone to lose, then you're not going to go to sort of lean abs and athletic body. It's just not possible. So anyone that sees these photos, the person before would have either done a longer program or they would have been pretty lean to start with. And also, don't forget as well, the way photos are taken can make them look better than they actually are in real life. So be aware of what you can actually achieve in going from A to B. You might not be like looking perfect, athletic, beach body. It's not always realistic in that time frame. So the next one is, what about the after photos? So I've spoken about this before. So you get the before photo, the after photo. What about 6 months or 12 months down the line? The after photo. Quite a lot of diets blast you, restrict you, and use your willpower. And it's okay to be able to do that for a short amount of time and you can get results. But what happens when you finish? Do you just go back to how you were before? Did you actually learn anything? Was it a lifestyle change? Or was it just a short-term weight loss just for the photo? And unfortunately, that's true in quite a lot of cases. If you look at people who have lost a lot of weight, and especially the like Slimming World Member of the Year members, often if you follow them up after a period of time, they put a load of weight back on, unfortunately. And it's a sad truth of the industry. So the next one, do these people actually get coached? Do the people helping them actually speak to them or know them? Or do they just send them a generic plan or even slightly tailored plan through email and request a photo at the beginning and at the end and just leave the person to it, maybe do a few check-ins? And with something like this, you have to ask the question, what is the person learning? And also, with a plan, it's very black and white. So if you're following a plan for the period, let's say 8 or 12 weeks, then what happens after? Because it can become very black and white. If you're following a fixed plan, which you can do with willpower for a short amount of time, what happens when you finish? Do you just go back to how you were before? Because this leads to yo-yo dieting. And obviously, if you finish a plan and just revert to how you were before and haven't learned anything, hasn't been a lifestyle change, you just go back to how you were before, which includes putting the weight back on. So you have to be very aware of this as well. Are you coached? Do you learn new things? Is it a transition into your new lifestyle? Or is it just follow this plan, do really well? You will do if you stick to it and use your willpower. It's only 8 to 12 weeks and send me a photo at the end and you'll look great. What happens afterwards? The next one is, do they work on internal factors as well as external factors? So what do I mean by that? So most diet and exercise plans or programs concentrate on your diet and your exercise. This is the external things that you do, external, right? However, there's so much more going on with weight loss up here. So these are the internal factors. And for me, this is such an important thing to work on. So there are so many things that are holding you back because of how you think and what's going on in here. So things like your long-term motivation. You can't just have an external motivation. So to lose weight for a specific day or a specific event, because that comes and goes. So will the motivation. It has to be created internally. You have to really want it and have the desire to actually keep doing what you're doing. So that's internal motivation. You have things like negative emotions, which hold you back. You have emotional eating. So that devil on the shoulder that comes out and kind of tells you, oh, just have one, or you've been really good today, have some more, or have a day off, you've been working really hard, and things like that make you kind of do things that you wouldn't necessarily want to do. It goes against your actual goal and your logic, and you feel that internal pressure build until you have to release it with eating, and you end up binging. So controlling and resolving emotional eating and binging is very important as well. Things like limiting beliefs, what is holding you back, things like that. And all these internal things are so important to make the rest of the diet and exercise so much easier. When you get these things sorted out, following the food plan and following the exercise plan or structure, it becomes so much easier, and you get much better results, and you get to keep the results, because once you kind of transition into this lifestyle, all the things up here kind of work themselves out, and you want to continue doing it. There's nothing holding you back. There's nothing kind of pulling you back in the other direction. This comes into identity as well, who you see yourself as. Do you see yourself as an overweight person, or do you see yourself as a fit and healthy person who enjoys and feels strange not doing these things? So when you look at these before and after photos, it doesn't really tell you much. Like, what else did these people achieve? Yes, they lost some weight, but weight loss is so much more than just how you look, right? It's how you feel, what's going on inside, and how changing the way you feel, what does that enable you to do that you couldn't do before, or you felt self-conscious about doing before? How is your confidence? How is the rest of your life now? How has your career changed? How are your relationships with yourself and others? What's better because of how you feel, your confidence, your self-worth? And that is the big thing with losing weight. It's not really how you look. It's how you feel, right? So that's such an important thing that's not conveyed in before and after photos. So does this person that you see in front of you, did they have this change? How do they feel now? What have they got out of it? Some diets are based on willpower, restriction, and guilt, and this doesn't make you feel very good. It's energy sapping. A lifestyle change should empower you to get your life back and achieve more rather than feeling worse. So it's so important to get this right. And when I speak to my clients, I feel so proud about the changes they make and how they now feel in their lives and what they're now achieving because of their transformation, and how they now feel and how it now empowers them to do more things that they just couldn't bring themselves to before. Next one. So some big weight loss programs, let's say Slimming World and Weight Watchers, have over 5.5 million members combined. So if we take 1% of those, that's 55,000 people that can show before and after photos, weight loss photos that might tempt you to join. But that's 1%. I'm not saying that 99% of people fail, but that's a lot of people, 55,000, if they want to show results. They only have to get results with 1% of people, and there's 55,000. Like, you'd be like, oh yeah, that looks like it works. All those people, that's a lot. But bear in mind how many people actually join. And when we do look into the figures, there is a very high failure rate. I don't know the proper numbers, so I'm not going to say them, but just be aware of that. When you see these huge programs, they got so many members that it looks like they're getting great results, but they can show that because of the sheer amount of people that are doing it. Some people get results by accident, right? Next one, Photoshop. So we're not really going to go into this because we can't prove it, but it's a big culture in the magazine industry. We know that a lot of magazines brush up photos and change things to make their models look better than the photos. It's just a culturally accepted thing. And if it wasn't done, then people would definitely notice the difference. So yeah, that's something that happens all the time. We can't prove it with specific photos, but just be aware that that can happen. So the next one is other manipulation techniques to make the photos look better. So there's things like a tan, things like oil in the body, things like professional lighting, professional photos, tensing the muscles. So when I did my photo shoot, I looked completely different 24 hours between the two photos, because one was at home and one was the professional photo with the tan, the oil, the lighting, everything done properly, and they look completely different. So that's the same person. It was only 24 hours apart, but there's such a big difference in those photos, as you can see. And also, how did I feel? Doing that weight loss to that level, I felt terrible, and I didn't want to stay like that because it just made me feel drained, tired, like I didn't feel happy. And I can make a smile on my face, but it just wasn't very nice to do, and I'm not going to do it again. So just be aware, like, how do you feel in those photos? They may look good, but how does that person feel when you see them in that photo? Do you only want to be that way because it looks good? How will you feel? You don't know how they're actually feeling. And finally, the last one. So I don't know if you actually know, but you can buy before and after photos on the internet. I just typed into Google and came up with loads of sites where I could buy before and after photos. So this is terrible. Someone could just make up a weight loss program, buy some before and after photos, lie that they got those results for those people, and sell it to you. You don't know if they're actually true. And yeah, I don't understand how people can go to that level, but they are there. And so we just have to be very aware of these things. So when you are looking at before and after photos, bring all these things in your mind together. What are you actually trying to achieve? And really bear in mind that before and after photos don't show everything. Dig into what you're getting. Work out if you're actually going to get long-term results. How are you going to feel? And what can you achieve by doing this process? So that's it for today, guys. If you would like my free food structure guide of how to portion your foods without counting calories or anything else, that is down there in the description below. Grab it for free. So if you have enjoyed this video, guys, like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps get the videos up the YouTube rankings. It helps me help more people. And let me know in the comments, have you been influenced by before and after photos? Have you seen some before and after photos which made you join this particular program? Let me know. And that's it. Until next time.